the thing. A real man with a family, if you've been doing that and you were, on your hustle and you got all your women and stuff, when you looking at married, you got kids, you got a job, you got a house to take care of, you put all that stuff aside and you do what's right by your family at some point in your life. And if you can't, then you need to be by yourself. You need to leave a woman alone because you ain't no good for her anymore. That's what a real man is.
I guess I agree with a lot with what's being said. I guess another thing for me, I think the tragedy of love a lot of times love falls short of, I guess, what it was designed to do. And I guess two qualities of love that I've always lifted up. One, the redemptive power of love. Redemption being, love has the power to find you where you are and redeem your every weak quality. Two, the fact that love is something, as I was thinking. But I guess one of the things a lot of times we find in loving relationships, love does not go deep enough. And I look at Christ as an example. A lot of people were with Christ in the beginning when they found out who he was and his popularity. As he progressed through his ministry, people began to fall off because on the other one was love is revelation. A lot of times we miss the revelation of who the person is. And when the person is revealed to us, we either reject them or we go further. And a lot of times we don't know how to deal with not liking the person that we see. And sometimes the person that you see needs to be redeemed and they need your love, but a lot of times we back out at the very moment before revelation can even occur. And a lot of times you might be with that guy who might be cheating and running around, but the fact that he's willing to spend time with you means he's crying out, he wants something. But a lot of times when you see that person, we might not be strong enough. And you make an honest decision. I ain't strong enough to love this brother, and then you leave. But a lot of times, and I guess I'll say and I use a practical example. A lot of times we're married, and in marriage, and I guess it's an extreme example, but there are times people do things in marriage and people say, oh, I would never put up with that. But then there's some marriages that get redeemed from certain things, and when it's going through, you say that person's crazy. But when they come through on the other side, you say, it's a powerful testimony. And it's just a lot of times, love has to overcome some things. And I'm not saying go through everything, but I'm saying there's some things that work.
Hold on. Cause I want to hear. Hold on. I want to get everybody. Get L Boogie.
Okay, so you talked about sometimes a man not having the presence of his mother. I think in a certain instance that is true, because just like a daughter needs her father, a son needs his mother, and just because the mother is there, sometimes you think of a little boy supposed to be strong. So they fall, you tell them, oh, get back up, you're a boy. So sometimes that mother may not have that emotional connection with that son. Now, I have a friend who actually dealt with that. His mother told him, to her, he was dead. So he basically became a womanizer because he didn't have that. But he had 3 younger sisters that he also looked out for. So he recognized that. He started going to counseling and he started becoming more involved with the church. And now he's saved, and so now he's at a point where he wants to get married. He's done. So I do believe that's real. Just like I said, just like a father and a daughter relationship is important, a mother and son relationship is important. And if not, it can affect him long term. So yeah.
Here's the thing. Whole bunch of us don't know what love is. So we jump into these relationships trying to figure out what love is. So you can't effectively love the other person because you didn't work on learning what love was before you got in the relationship. We talked about how men sometimes don't want to open up, to Tia's point. You know, there are some words that men dread. 4 words. Honey, can we talk? We don't want to hear that. But do you know why we don't want to hear that? Because it's always about us. Okay, by men, by a show of hands, is it not always about us? Keep it real. I know you gotta go home, blame it on me. Is it not always about us?
So this nice gentleman right here spoke to love and why men cheat and so forth and so on. Is that pretty much where you touched that at? Okay.
Well, I'm not really explaining why we cheat, but I'm saying, I guess in the end, I'm saying we all have broken problems. Sometimes we need love to speak to those broken problems. We don't always do.
Okay, well let me explain this to you. Love, because this started off with what Moses said about men wanting different plates and samples and things of that nature, which I agree with. However, cheating and love don't have anything to do with each other at all. Because I can love you all day long, but I can still cheat on you. And that is a self-control type situation. Cheating and love don't go hand in hand, and that's where people get it misconstrued. Oh, he don't love me because he cheated on me. No, doesn't have anything to do with you, but you need to find out why he cheated on you, because as women, we sometimes tend to think he cheated because of something that we did, or we think he cheated because of something that we didn't do. We never stop to evaluate who we are as women. We never can step up to the plate and ask ourselves, are we enough for our mate? Did we do what we were supposed to? Now, if you can say you did, which most women will say they did, but cheating ain't got nothing to do with love. Because if you're not giving him that listening quality, you're not hearing him, and you're always biting at him, and why you didn't do this, and when you gonna do that, and this bill is due, and these kids need this. Well, guess what? He gonna go find somebody, and she gonna be sitting there at work talking about, how was your evening? Oh, trust me. So that's what you say. Chick, come on here, bring them lunch. I dare you to eat. How about that? Dare you to open your mouth.
Hold on, let me come back to Doug right quick. Hold on. Because Doug wanted to clarify something. Hold on. Settle down. Doug wanted to finish a point right quick.
I'm being more specific. When the question was proposed, is one woman gonna, for a man, we immediately thought sexually.
Right.
I'm not talking about that. A woman is more than just sexual companion. When I was saying that one woman is, I'm talking you dealing with her emotions, just everything that she goes through. You can't, no man want no side piece to be dealing with emotions and what's going on at work and what's going on here and there. No, I'm talking about a woman when you in tune to her. Now, sexually, yeah, we feel like, okay, yeah, I can have all the women I want, but I'm talking about dealing with one woman totally. One woman is more than enough. But when the question was proposed in the sanctuary and the picture was a provocative picture, people immediately thought about sexually is one woman enough. Okay, well tonight when the question was asked, did we think sexually? Because the question was, oh, he gonna do this. That's just how men built. Men ain't built to deal with a whole bunch of women, different emotions from different women. No, we don't want that. We're talking about seeing something look good. You get what I'm saying? We're dealing with something look good in a physical moment that's gonna be gone after the point. How long it take you to do what you do? But I'm talking about dealing with a woman spiritually, physically, emotionally, mentally. Who want more than one of those? Raise your hand, man. Who want more than one of those? Okay, let's keep it real now.
Let me say this, then I'm gonna come back to you. We're talking about this thing called love. And this is for those of us, I don't know what religious background we all come from, but those of us who are Christian. Now, the Bible talks about it in Ephesians 4, husbands, love your wives. But did you catch the other part? Wives, respect your husbands.
That's right.
You can read that word, and you ever wonder why I never said, wives, love your husband? That's not how men are built. It's one thing to love, but then you gotta receive love. Men don't receive love like women do. We don't. To a man, if you give me and Moses, man to man, if I give Moses respect, then Moses gonna feel like I got love for him. I got love for him. Women are not built like that. Now, I'm not saying that women don't want to be respected, but the average woman does not equate that with love. Now, when we're talking about this whole communication thing, one of the reasons that men, don't open up sometimes and don't want to talk, because they feel disrespected in those conversations. Now, I'm not saying that it's always a woman's prerogative to disrespect him or to make him feel or influence his feelings towards being disrespected. But, when a man feels disrespected, he doesn't feel love. That will make a man want to cheat because he feels disconnected from her. Now, am I saying it's right? No, but it's rational and it's real. And it gives you an understanding of how men think. Somebody's hand was up.
Especially when they're smarter than you are.
I just wanted to say a little bit. I think I heard of why men do it, and so I'm kind of give you a little my story of why I think it happens. I tell my wife the story. I remember when I was little, I got a girlfriend. I was so excited, so I walked down to the boys and I'm like, "Oh, I got a girlfriend," and everybody started laughing. "You got a girlfriend, man? You don't have 3 girlfriends. You're supposed to." So I never said that again. And so it was all about how many girls I can get with guys. And I'm not talking about guys that's just in the street. I'm talking about even as I started going to church, things that guys say, like everybody talk, "Oh, my wife did something." It's not like that when guys get together. They talking about that girl that we walked by. I'm saying it's really bad. We are really kind of bad. Like, I'm just being honest. I'm being honest. Like, I don't know everybody want to come in here and say something nice. I just want to be honest. The locker room guy talk. We got a lot of problems when it comes to having women. It's not love and get married. It's like, it's something different, and guys know what it is when we're talking about it. Like, and I'm not talking about guys. I think when you say this, you think, "Oh, them record guys." No, these is all type of guys. That's all they talk about. Guy could walk, wife can just walk away, and then he talking to me like, I'm like, what? That's all I've experienced, and it's not. Don't think it's just these different type of men. It's all men. I'm just being honest. And we don't. I know. Well, so let me most of it is, and so then we try to condition ourselves out of that, and that's difficult because you're accustomed to that now. And if most men in here get real and really talk about what we talk about, I was just to be honest, I see what the problem is, and we don't go to counseling. We don't. What, man, I just went to counseling. Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm just talking about guys out there right now. Maybe you guys know guys that do that. Go get therapy on this. So we're trying to find out. So now you ran through women as a team, and so now you're trying to meet a girl, but that's what you've been doing. And it was you get pound, like he just pound, you get a pound on that. You don't get, "Oh, why did you do that?" So I'm trying to be honest with where I feel like it happens is you're accustomed, and now you're trying to get out of it. You got a wife, but that's what you did. And he tell the truth, man. He tell the truth. But women have locker rooms too. They do. I'm not saying what we do. Coming right to you, Bernard. Hold on. Let's go to Bernard.
disagree with that, man. Like in my younger years, it was a lot different, but I made a conscious choice. It's a decision to cheat anyway. So with that woman you meet, if she's stroking your ego and she's treating you well and she respects you, I know it. I talk her up. So it's like if we're together and I'll see a girl like, oh, she's cute, but she's not my woman. Like that's the person that I want to see every day. That's the person I feel like I need to talk about every day. As far as the person that is around or around my people, I even talk about her, they ask about her. It is no other girl I'm talking about. It is nobody else besides maybe my mother that might be in my conversation, but the only woman that I feel like I need to talk about is really her. But it's crazy on a couple other points because I ain't talked yet. So, a couple other points we gotta hit real quick. Like women always quick to call a man a dog and stuff like that, but I've never, if you treat a dog right, and you stroke his ego, you feed him, I don't never see him straight away. That dog come right back now. So, that dog will come back, man. But the reason, it's signs. So people say like, well, why do men cheat? It's always a sign. I don't believe men go into a situation like, okay, I'm just gonna automatically treat her dirty. This stuff that happens in that relationship, and I really believe that most women listen to reply. They don't listen to understand. And men try to give it to you. You're like, okay, this is what we need you to understand, but you understand and take from it what you want to, and that doesn't help the relationship.
Now, I am inclined, there are, I'm sure, a lot of women who might disagree with that last statement that he made. Now, I'm gonna tell you why I'm inclined to agree with that. When you get a man to a point where he is willing to have that conversation with you about anything. Let's say men don't typically want to talk about their insecurities, their sensibilities. There was another question, I think it was yesterday, about a woman protecting, yes. She doesn't deserve to be the queen if she's not willing to protect the king. Now, how many of you all agree with that? Disagree with that? Understand that. Don't understand. Some of y'all ain't go. Let me tell you my take on that question real quick. Physically, Moses can protect Monica. He's a man. She's a woman. I'm not saying she's weak, but he's the man, right? Men, a lot of times, do not admit that they need their woman to protect their sensibilities, their insecurities. I want to use my mother as an example. One of the things that I always admired about their marriage is that she knows her husband. She knows what bothers him before it happens. She can see him getting upset before he reaches that point. I'm not talking about with her, I'm talking about period. They could be out somewhere in whatever environment. She knows when he's uncomfortable, what will make him uncomfortable. She don't know these things because he told her. She knows these things because she paid attention to her man. And she understands the fact, again, me and Aaron, my boy, we don't sit around and talk about what bothers us, what insecurities we have. We don't do that. We talking about our Langston game last night. You see LeBron, you see Kobe. We're not talking about the things that women talk about, well, not all the time. Woman to woman, sometimes you all can relate to each other in terms of y'all having whatever issues, whatever insecurities you have, and y'all tend to open up to each other. Even when you feel like you can't do that at home. Now, what's the problem if we can't do that at home? But one of the problems that we have in relationships, in marriages, is that we feel like we can't open up to one another. And if we can't open up to one another, then we're disconnected. When we disconnect, it might lead to one of us cheating. And I'll make it right, but it's real. When we disconnect, what do we really have? We're just filling the same space. We in the same house on autopilot, just missing each other. So, I'm sorry, did I miss the hand? Okay. Oh, let's go back to Mrs. Hatcher.
I was once in a seminar, in a class, and a person made a statement that in order for a relationship to work, that you have to study one another, just like you're studying your books in a classroom. And I think that was one of the most profound statements anybody could have made about a relationship. Because in order to know each other, then you got to get together and get connected, and you can't get connected if you don't know something about each other. So it's just like homework. We think that little simple stuff like, what color is your toothbrush or whatever, that stuff, little things like that really do matter. That really does matter. We need to really study one another. And even in relationship, whether you're married or not, if you want a good relationship, you're going to learn to study one another so you can learn who you are. And if you do that in a relationship, then you'll know before you connect in a marriage whether that marriage is meant to be. We can talk about the God we serve, all we want to serve, but none of us in this room and none of us in this world are the same in our relationship with God. Even the husband and the wife are not the same. But we have to learn how to respect one another, even in that aspect, so that we can learn to help one another. And if we really study each other, I think that we will know whether that relationship before it becomes a marriage is meant for us to be.
My Aunt Denise and my Uncle Tony are here. My Uncle Tony's on the camera. Aunt Denise is there in the purple. I think she's on the purple. You next. One of the things that I have admired about their marriage is the fact that they are genuinely friends. It's not just about, that's my husband, that's my wife. They're friends. At the end of the day, this whole in love stuff gets old. And it wears off. Now, I'm not saying that we stop loving each other, but this whole in love, I got a video about this whole in love thing, that's about your feelings. Your feelings change. And if you base your love for somebody on your feelings, then you will stop loving when your feelings change. That's why you got so many people divorced. I hate her. I hate him. Because your feelings change. You would rely on your feelings to keep you in this relationship. But the truth of the matter is, I'm sure Janet do some things, get on G-Money nerves. G-Money do some things to get on Janet nerves. But at the end of the day, it ain't about we in love. No, you made the decision to love that person. For me, and this is kind of to Jason's point, we do people a disservice when we just say, well, yeah, God is love. That's true. But that is not, if I don't know God, that's not helping me to know what love is. Some of us, even if we do know God, that might not help me because I need you to give me a workable definition. The Bible says God so loved the world, gave his only begotten Son. Right? So the meat of that is give. Love is to unreservedly give of yourself for the benefit of somebody else. That's love. Love is to unreservedly, meaning without reservation, give of yourself for the benefit of somebody else. If you don't know that before you get in a relationship or a marriage, you are doomed to fail.
My situation is,
Me and my husband, we've been there for several years, and wow. Oh, you hear me now? Yeah. Anyway, we have extended families, so he has children and I have children. And our battle is trying to make everyone happy.
Wow.
Because sometimes it's like the children on the other side feels like they're being neglected or financially deprived because of certain situations. So should you sacrifice your lifestyle?
No.
Because the other side is choosing not to make the same sacrifice you choose to make. Are you less of a mother or stepmother? Or a father because you're not doing those things?
No.
But it can come between you two if you're not trying to equally yoke. Because besides, if you're not equally doing the same thing for that family.
Okay.
And that can come between because of that devotion to the other side.
Okay. So, to that point, when you get married, you forsake all others. Your children will grow and leave your home. Your mama, your daddy, your grandma, your sister, your cousin, auntie and them, they going home. That's your spouse. He comes before all of them. She's your wife. She comes before all of them. Because at the end of the day, you stood before God and said, I do. They can't control what goes on between y'all. Y'all have to make them understand, and if they can't conform to your behavior, they can step. Because see, this is what I know about especially black families. We tend to look at people and go, you're this person in my family, so you're my mama. No matter what you say, what you do, how you treat my spouse, don't matter, you my mama, I'm gonna take that. But see, that situation is like you got that girlfriend over there that's going, well girl, he treats me bad. He a piece of man, but I'd rather have a piece of man than no man at all. That's garbage. Because you deserve to have the love of your husband just like he deserves your love. And if they can't get with the program, kick rocks and dodge them when they start falling. Because if they can't understand that, that's on them. That ain't got nothing to do with y'all. And for you to let that come between y'all, that's y'all fault. Y'all need to fix that. And then everybody else will conform and do what they need to do. People treat you how you allow them to treat you. If you allow them to act that way and you continue to go, okay, all right, well, baby, I'm gonna send her this money. Or, baby, I'm gonna send the kids money and you don't know that the money got sent. Oh, no, that ain't gonna fly. So, you have to fix that between you and your spouse, and then everybody else conforms to your marriage. And that's how that works. That's just my personal opinion. Trust me, I can tell you some stories. You'd be like, girl, let's talk. My other thing is to the love statement. When you say you love somebody, because I've been with my husband for 22 years. I've been with my husband since I was 17. I'll be 39 in October. We've been married for 14 and a half. We have 2 beautiful daughters, no outside kids. When I tell people, they say, how did y'all stay together for so long? I love my husband, faults, flaws, and all. He is not perfect. I get on his nerves, he get on my nerves. I have days when I don't like him, he don't like me. It's okay, because one thing is, divorce is not an option at my house. We don't speak it, we don't talk about it, it ain't happening. You mad, go to your man cave, I'm mad, I'm going over in here, don't talk to me. Then we come back and we reconvene. But you have to love your mate, faults, flaws, and all, because they are not perfect. They're gonna mess up. They're gonna do something that's gonna send you over the top, and you're gonna do the same thing. But if you don't have the capability to forgive them because of who they are, that's your fault, because you married. That's my best friend. On the days that I don't like him as my husband, I love him as my friend. When I don't like him as my husband, I like him as my friend.
because that's what I chose, and I don't choose to walk away from that. His death do his part. He knows, because that's just what it is. And once you take divorce off your table, you fix it. You make it work.
First of all, divorce is nowhere near. Nowhere near. I'm just trying to keep that even zone. I don't want to step on anybody's toes because we are a couple and we do the same thing together. However, I just don't want to do nothing wrong. I'm bad. I'm a bad person. I'm trying to.
Can I ask you a question? Do you feel like you did everything you could do?
Oh, yeah.
Then that's all you need to worry about, because once you get to that level where you guys did everything that you could do and you feel like you're satisfied, he's satisfied with what he done, leave it at that. Y'all live y'all marriage and just leave it at that, because it's going to start to kind of like bother y'all as a couple, kind of like separate y'all. Y'all problems with y'all extended families is going to come in between y'all and kind of separate y'all. So if you feel like y'all did everything that y'all could as a group, just leave it at that.
I mean, trust me, everyone who's really in a close relationship with, like, you know, you've been, like, he's been with his wife for years. So you're still gonna go through that situation where you feel like you want to do everything. And I don't want to say
Let me ask you a question. Are you enough for him?
Oh, definitely.
Is he enough for you?
Oh, definitely.
So then what are you talking about?
No, it's just those children.
Okay, back to my question.
I mean, even down to me.
Are you
I have
enough?
children, you have boys. And, you know, anybody who has children, the male
Who
children.
determined y'all to get married? Who made that
We did,
decision?
but I mean, I'm ready. It's just a thing about boys. It's like, when you know, I would never sacrifice my boys. They're mine. That's just how I feel as a mother.
My daughter's mine too.
I know, but it's like something like boys. I'm over the top.
But what they won't do is come between me and their father.
And
Because at the end of the day, it's kind of
I-
like that. It's kind of like that. One parent chooses one thing, one parent says one thing, and then the kids draw the parents against each other, and then they won. Yeah, we don't do that.
But
Not in my house.
real. This is my husband. When we've had a discussion like this, I felt because they were under 18, right? And I'm saying that I don't want to be doubting, but I'm just saying though, I felt my children would come first because they were under.
That's where you make a mistake.
But I mean, this is how I feel as a mother.
I understand that.
Okay.
We don't have to worry about that. An 18-year-old
Hold on.
he won't act them right, so she put them out. So we don't even have those. We really don't have those things.
It's your God, your spouse.
I would know that.
Yeah.
But I still felt because I was that's my kid. He's now 18, he wasn't at the time.
Let me give y'all another real life example of what she's talking about.
Okay, when I married my husband, my children, I have boys. I have 2 boys. He has a boy and a girl. My children were 8 and 13. His son was 13 and his daughter was probably grown at that time. But when we came together, we became a family, okay? I told my children, my husband is very generous. As long as he was giving, they was happy. I told them, you can't take the good without the bad. Okay? Don't nobody come between me and my husband. Alright? I'm gonna be your mother forever. He gonna be your daddy forever. But we are husband and wife. We don't allow disrespect. I don't let his children disrespect him. He don't let my children disrespect me. I don't disrespect his children, and they know not to disrespect me. Okay? That's how we roll in our house. We are a family. We are not going to always agree. I don't try to please them. He don't try to please my kids. We are co-parenting together. We came together and we are co-parenting them. They are currently grown. Okay? They don't always like what we say. We don't always like what they do. But when they come to 35, 30, they know what time it is. We are parents. Okay? And if you don't like it, bye. Because we gonna be together forever. We gonna love you, but you ain't gonna rule 35, 30. Okay? You gonna rule your joint. But when you come here, we your family, and you gonna act accordingly. Okay? So that's what I'm telling you to do. Don't let them take over.
think an important thing too to remember is the two people have to come together on what she said. Because if you're not together on what she said about how she feels about the co-parenting, then if you're not on the same accord, then there's gonna be a problem.
I was raised in a family with a stepdad, and what worked for me and my brother, because at that time, I have a sister now from the stepdad and the parent, but it was me and a brother that came into the marriage. And what worked for us and what made the situation win is feeling like we were treated equally. Make sure you don't make a difference. If you present the same thing with yours and his, then there's nothing else you can do. So, just try to do right by everybody, and then that's the best you do.
Let me take a pause real quick. I got a friend of mine in the audience, good friend of mine, also my barber. We also went to high school together. And my brother, he can sing. If I could sing like Kelly, I wouldn't even talk. I just walk around all day like, ooh, yeah. But my brother, I want y'all to support this brother. Those of you who live in the Durham, Raleigh area, you need to get tightened up. Come see him at Raleigh's barbershop. But he got a CD project. I don't know when it comes out, but he might let you know that when it comes up here. He gonna come bless us right quick. Put your hands together.
This is the song that me and G was just thinking about, and I just want y'all to listen to these words, and it goes like this. Love, so many things I gotta tell you, but I'm afraid I don't know how, 'cause it's a possibility you look at me differently, love. Ever since the first moment I spoke your name, from then on I knew that by you being in my life, things were destined to change. 'Cause love, so many people use your name in vain. Love, those who have faith in you sometimes go astray. Love, through all the ups and downs and joys and hurts. Love, for better or worse, I still will choose you first. Love, love, love. My name is Kadron Mills. You can visit me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thank you.
But now, how appropriate I thought for him to sing that. Y'all ever thought about the words, the chorus of that song? Love. Those who have faith in you sometimes go astray. Through all the ups and downs, joys and hurts. Some people use your name in vain. I was preaching at a church last month, sang that song before I preached. And everywhere it said love, I said Lord. Again, I don't know what religious background all of us come from. But again, those of us who believe, when we talk about how we relate to our spouse or our significant other, how do we relate to God? Sometimes the problems that you have with your spouse or your significant other are the same problems that you have with God. same problem. You can't communicate with your spouse. How often do you pray? Your spouse won't open up to you. Do you open up to God? Do you pray for your spouse? Ooh. How many of y'all saw the War Room? Not yet. Well, I ain't gonna tell you the movie. I ain't gonna tell you the movie. But I'm gonna tell you this though. I want you to pay real close attention to what the grandmother, everything that she says, pay attention to everything that she says. It is really, really easy for a husband and wife, or a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever you want to call it, to encourage each other when everything is all right. But as soon as something hit the fan, something go wrong, they do something you don't like, and we fall out of love. I don't want to encourage them no more. I don't feel like I want to, pour my best into them anymore. Because in my mind, now you're not who I thought that you were. See, so many of us, again, when we enter these relationships, well before the marriage, we enter the relationships with false expectations. We enter these relationships believing that this person is never ever going to do anything, not just to make me upset, but to hurt me. You can unintentionally hurt somebody. Husband and wife can unintentionally hurt each other's feelings. We can be insensitive sometimes, and we don't mean to. But how do we deal with that? How do we process that? It's on different levels.
Boyfriend-girlfriend is different. Boyfriend-girlfriend is totally different than a husband and a wife. And the reason why is because, yeah, you're dating that person to get to, hopefully, that point. But as a boyfriend and girlfriend, you have the option to walk away. When you're married to somebody, if you're married under the covenant of God and it's a covenant, you don't have that option. That's not an option to say, you know what, I'm mad at you today, you know what, our finances are jacked up and it's all your fault and I'm just gonna leave. You don't get that option because it ain't that easy. So when we say relationship, you have to look at it for where the relationship is. Is it a boyfriend and girlfriend? Because a boyfriend and a girlfriend, unfortunately, cannot tell me how to be married. And that's just the reality of it. And, I can tell you how to be somebody's girlfriend all day because I've been there and I've done that. But you can't tell me how to be somebody's wife because you don't know. And that's why a lot of relationships, especially marriages in particular, start falling apart because we want to go talk to our single girlfriends about what he did. Well, first of all, keep your business to yourself. Because what goes on between you and your husband is between you and your husband. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. That's the first thing. The second thing is, if you are going to talk to somebody, you need to talk to somebody who's going to give you some words of wisdom to stay. Because it's easy to say, girl, I know, girl, just go ahead and walk away. Because see, I left my husband. See, that's why you like sick. So, people who are married and want to be married and want to stay married have to understand that they're going to run into those issues within their marriage, and with them running into those issues, they're going to need to learn how to work them out, and they're going to need to find people that are going to help them work through that, as opposed to, yeah, it's okay to leave, yeah, it's okay to walk away. But as a boyfriend and girlfriend, I'm sorry, my single girlfriends cannot tell me how to be married. They can't. And I love them, and I want them to be married, and I want them to get to that place. I do. I want my single girlfriends to have the joy and the happiness. But I tell my girl, I have friends that have said to me, girl, you have a great husband. Well, yeah, you will always see him as a great man because you don't even know what's going on in the house. But trust me when I tell you, you don't know what I'm married to. I'm serious. I love my husband more than life itself. That's my boo. That's my road dog right there. But at the end of the day, you don't know this walk right here. And you might not be able to handle these shoes that I done walked down, through, up and through, and down and all around in the corners with. So instead of you looking at my me about what you see. Because what you won't ever hear me do is talk about it. You won't never hear me belittle it. You won't never see us argue. We can be going at it in the car, pulling up. We don't get our holding hands and smiling and hey, how y'all doing and what's going on? But see, at the end, but when we get back in that car and we headed back to 156, ain't no telling what might be going on in the car. But at the end of the day, that's my husband and that's my dog right there. And ain't nobody gonna disrespect that. That's my
Now going back on what Greg was saying about the love, I think people forget when it's hard to love somebody, I think they forget to go back to their first love, which was Christ. And but that's who. But when I say that, that's who first loved you.
But everybody don't know that. Because there's a lot of people sitting in the church right now today that's been going for years and still don't know that Jesus.
So my question is like, what do we talk? We talk about two different situations. Then that's a worldly marriage compared to a godly marriage. Yes, it is. If I'm getting married under the oath of God, that's a spiritual marriage. Now, if I'm getting,
married under the oath of God is a spiritual marriage.
they should know who their first love is.
No, they don't. They don't.
They should know. They should know.
I understand your point of view, but what I'm telling you is that as a married person, everybody that gets married does not know Jesus Christ just because they standing at the altar in the pulpit and the preacher is preaching over their marriage. They don't know it because if they did know it, divorce rate wouldn't be so high. You have to understand, just because you walk in a church and you walk down the aisle in a white dress and you standing at whatever church you attend, don't mean you know God is over your marriage. Don't mean you even know that God loves you. A lot of people sit in church today and the first time, they can be 40 years old and hear for the first time, God loves you because they've never been told. So you can't really make that assumption that they got to go back to Christ because a lot of people don't know it. And they might think they know him, but they don't. Just because you sit in a church don't mean you know Christ.
Premarital counseling. That's what you do before you get married. Premarital counseling.
Let me go to Eda right quick, and then I'm going to Octane.
So, like you said, you got premarital counseling. Not all pastors give premarital counseling. Well, you go get married. In some churches you do. Some churches you got premarital counseling. Right, I understand. My church is what it is. That's my pastor said. If you don't got your premarital counseling, I'm not married. But you got some ordained ministers that will marry people, and people get married because of people of the church saying you are fornicating or shacking. So you're trying to get that stimulation or that staying off of you. So they won't be saying you shacking or fornicating. So like she said, everybody don't know about them. I know them because that's how I was taught.
Okay.
But like you said, everybody ain't taught. But they know that thing of that stipulation of you can't fornicate. So they looking at you like that. Let me take this, let me go get married so I can get rid of this. Or like you say, so we can be legal. Right. When something happens to you, if my spouse gets sick or my boyfriend, let's be legal so if something happens, I can be connected and I can say, oh, I got the obligation of saying to do this and do that. Some people do that because they want that litigation of doing that. It's not always about getting under that Christ like that. Because not everybody knows Christ.
Not everybody knows Christ, but that goes back to my point to this is now a worldly marriage. If you didn't know Christ in the first place, there's no such thing as God is in it.
I think that's right.
That's just somebody saying you do, I do, we done.
Everybody ain't in God's marriage. You get married sometimes for the wrong reason.
That's a Vegas marriage.
But like, okay, I got you, but you get married for the wrong reason.
No, my point is this. My point is not that it's a worldly marriage. I can go sit in church every day and know God exists and pray to him every day. But I don't necessarily know that he loves me. There are many.
Then you don't know him.
No.
You can know love him, but not know him.
How do you know? What? Yes, ma'am.
I went through counseling.
Yes, ma'am.
I found out that the Lord loved me. I didn't know what I was doing when I got married, but I know what I'm doing now.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm 52 years old and I've been married for 30 years. And I know how to communicate with my husband. And I know how to talk to him.
Yes, ma'am.
And I know how to tell him what I don't like and what I do like. But I know how to share that with him, how he receives it. And I'm still learning. And I'm gonna make it.
See, unfortunately, you have the unfortunate circumstance that you know Christ and you have a girlfriend that you love, but until you're married, you don't know this walk. This is a walk that you won't ever understand. And I'll say that to anybody. You don't know the walk of marriage until you step into it. Trust me when I tell you this. Because let me tell you this. You can be married, you can date for 10 years. You can be married for 10 years or date for 10 years and oh yeah, we got bank accounts together, we bought a house together, we did all this. Let me tell you something. That's going to change once you say, I do. That changes. Once the word I do come out of your mouth, because I've had people say to me, oh, we've been together for 15 years and we got married, it doesn't change. Well, I don't know what you got married for.
Yeah.
Because marriage changes every fiber of who you are. If it doesn't change you, something is wrong and you need to reevaluate your situation. So that's all I'm telling you. A single person can't tell a married person what marriage is.
Pause it right there. Y'all want a part two? Y'all want a